you know, there's obviously a lot of issues in Vietnam versus in China, some of them being transparency issues. As you had mentioned, it does appear to offer more value, but aren't there a lot more risks, though, when you compare Vietnam vis-a-vis China, though?
I think that there's a big wall of money that people are now looking for opportunities, and therefore I think it's better to work with companies such as ours that has a listed fund on the London Main Board that knows the market, has been here for 15 years in Vietnam, and really understands the companies, knows the management, and has the capacity with 180 people on the ground to research the companies and come up with the right investment.
Indochina Capital was started by Peter Ryder and Rick Mayo Smith, both experienced financial advisors and investment bankers in New York, Tokyo, and Asia. They landed in Vietnam in the early 90s after seeing the great potential for investing in this country. They decided to join forces, combining their many years of investment experience in Vietnam and their international financial, investment, and transactional expertise, and founded Indochina Capital in 1999. And shortly thereafter moved into offices in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In Hanoi, ICC office in 63 Ly Tai To Street. Initially, the team consisted of 4 members, but today, Indochina Capital has more than 250 staff members presented at 4 offices in Hong Kong, Hanoi, Da Nang, and Ho Chi Minh City. In 2004, Indochina Capital launched its equities markets managed accounts business. Indochina Capital began its fund management business in 2005 when Indochinaland Holdings was launched at $42 million. It was Vietnam's first real estate fund. In the same year, Indochina Capital purchased a strategic stake in Mekong Securities and secured a major management role. Mekong Securities was one of Vietnam's first privately owned securities firms. In 2006, Indochinaland Holdings II was established with total capital of $265 million, funded by a handful of the world's largest and most prestigious institutional investors. (2007) has been, to date, a landmark year for Indochina Capital as the company established Indochina Capital Vietnam Holdings Limited and listed this milestone-setting fund on the London Stock Exchange main board with capital of approximately $500 million.
Indochina Capital's growth over the last several years has been exponential. By 2004, we'd begun to find our feet, although we were still only 20 people. Fast forward today, we're over 250 people. 2004, we began to manage money for the first time, third-party money. And that today then was 10 million. Today that's translated into over $1.8 billion of total funds under management. Indochina Capital has 4 distinct business divisions. One of them being our real estate division, Indochina Land, very much a key division within the group.
Along with building an outstanding group of professionals, Indochina Capital is also proud of building and asset managing the best properties throughout Vietnam. Indochina Land, our real estate division, is the developer and owner of some of the finest projects in the country, such as the Nam Hai, Vietnam's first super luxury resort and residential complex, Dalat Golf Club, the Montgomery Estate, Saigon Riverside, River Garden, and Indochina Riverside Towers.
The mission of Indochina Hotels and Resorts is to be the leading developer, owner, and asset manager of hospitality and leisure real estate in Vietnam.
Indochina Industrial Properties provides business space solutions for clients who prefer leased manufacturing space for the medium and long term. Our division of Indochina Land builds factories, warehouses, and R&D buildings in Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Da Nang, and the surrounding areas to meet investors' demand for conveniently located leased manufacturing space.
Indochina Land is currently developing a number of high-end retail developments in prime locations within the major cities. we are also developing Grade A offices for both the national and the international market.
Indochinaland is a premier foreign developer in Vietnam. In addition to focusing on 3 platforms that we discussed earlier, we also focusing on developing luxury condominium and villas as well as for rent service apartment.
As the leading property developer in Vietnam, Indochinaland's vision goes beyond building a better future for Vietnam. The company aims at striking a balance between the future and the past. Their objective in the end is to use their resources not only to develop quality properties to meet the growing demands of local residents, but to do so in a way that strikes a balance between environmental, social, and economic factors, while maintaining the essence of Vietnam's architecture and culture, as it is what charmed them to come to this country in the first place.